run with it. I'll be on the sidelines.
All right, so
Let you cook.
sounds good. So I took it. We're live right now on YouTube.
Okay, we're live on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Clutch. Hello, YouTube.
Yo yo yo.
All right, and then we can go recording right now on the pod, so we have audio as well. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, welcome back to another installment of the 94 podcast. And I'm joined here with Jim once again. Welcome back. I'm Brook Edel, otherwise known as B Rook. Leonard Len Dog. He's actually in Chicago. He might pop in. We never know with Leonard, so he might pop in. But greetings. Just want to say greetings. It's another beautiful day here in May, and I'm excited to talk some sports. We got some schedules. We got Game 7 scheduled. So just a lot of positivity. Your Rangers, hey, lots to talk about. Welcome back to the program, Jim.
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. So I appreciate you having me back. A crazy weekend in the sports, crazy weekend all over. And it's awesome. We're, like I said prior, we're in a wonderful time. I don't know where you want to jump in first. If you want to jump into hockey, if you want to jump into basketball, if you want to jump into football, if you want to jump into that Brady roast, I mean, it is all up to you, my man.
Okay. I mean, we could touch on the Brady roast because I know that's like what we kind of left the last show, the last recording of the 94 podcast talking about. I did get to watch it over the weekend. Great watch, and it's great rewatch material. So Netflix, definitely wins with that one. It's like 2 hours, 59 minutes, so 3 hours. We might as well just round it up. And it's hosted by Kevin Hart. Jeff Ross is like the roast master, I guess. He comes out in an O.J. Simpson's jersey. Straight from hell. Like the jokes, they write themselves there at that point. Kim Kardashian, she was there, and obviously we know that Kim Kardashian's dad, Robert Kardashian, he was part of the legal defense team, that all-star defense team for O.J. Simpson, and you have Tom Brady there. It's a great roast. Gronk was hilarious. I mean, obviously there was going to be some moments where Gronk didn't really understand, and he got roasted by Nikki Glazer, and that was hilarious. Where she said that even Gronk knew that wasn't money, and then that was my favorite part, when she just showed completely that was napalm. Like there was nothing left after Nikki Glazer got done with them. And who else? Randy Moss. Shout out to Randy Moss, former Viking. But yeah, it was cool. Like Brady roast, even Peyton Manning came in. Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck wanted to hold back a little bit because that's his guy. He loves Tom Brady. So I wanted to see Matt Damon. When I was up there, when I saw Ben Affleck, I was like, where's Matt Damon? Like, you got to have Matt Damon if you're going to have Ben Affleck. But all in all, I would rate it 9.5 because that's what you want.
Oh yeah,
for a roast. Just unfiltered, and the drinks are flowing, of course, and then you're just gonna get that raw comedy, and that's what we need more in this world. We need raw comedy because, hey man, there's not that much to laugh about, but I appreciate Netflix and Tom Brady being a good sport on just letting his friends and some comedians rip him apart.
You gotta love it. I mean, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the Two Bears One podcast. I mean, they're all funny. Don't get me wrong, but they were all good. I think Randy Moss, he could have been funnier, but I think if they were more comedians, less teammates, it'd be something else. But yeah, I mean, Netflix let them run with it. Netflix was like, we're not going to let you hold back any jokes. You're able to go through anything. You could almost say what you want to say. I think there was one joke that Tom didn't like, But
the Robert Kraft massage.
yeah,
Right. That's where he got up. He said like, "Hey,
turn it
don't
back.
do that shit." Like, yeah. That was Jeff Ross, but that just lets you know Jeff Ross is like surgical with this, where he will press that atomic button or that nuclear button, where you're just like, "Oh,
Ooh,
I don't
okay.
even know how people are gonna react." Right.
Then I think Julian Edelman was the most hilarious. Like, oh my goodness. But there's a lot of jokes, and I don't know if you heard about this on the news. Bill Belichick, Giselle, and Aaron Hernandez jokes were flying.
Oh, the Aaron Hernandez jokes were funny. Yep.
Yes, it's a situation where it's just like that stinks. Like the whole situation sucks, and like you really should make it funny, but at the same time, it's just like they kind of towed the line. They tried to, but if you some of the jokes were just like head on the hammer on the nail. The other ones were just like a little subtle. But Nikki Glazer was the funniest. Edelman was funny. I think having Kraft and Belichick and Brady do a shot near the end was fun. It was a good send off to everything and all that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that encapsulated it, and masterful job by Kevin Hart by organizing, making sure that the shots happen, and then at the end, they give the gift to Brady. So yeah, well done by everybody involved. Yeah, like I know, like Dave Chappelle. Like if they had more comedians, yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Like more comedians, just kind of just like, hey, make sure that it is a comedic event. But yeah, I was still cool with the teammates being present because it makes sense. We're talking about Tom Brady, football. Football is a team sport. And I did see Charles Woodson there. That was interesting. The tuck rule. Like,
Yeah.
there were some jokes about that, but like, yeah, that was interesting to see Charles Woodson. He must be like very mixed feelings on it because he's a Michigan man, but understand that the Raiders had an opportunity to win the Super Bowl that year. That was in that call. I mean, there's a 30 for 30 about it, but yeah, he must have been just sitting there, just like yeah, I'm gonna enjoy these jokes.
Hey, you know what?
and Giselle got a lot of heat too. So like we're gonna put the topic to bed, but like any final thoughts on the roast here?
The roast will never be back on YouTube anymore. They'll just be on Netflix. They can't go back to regular TV at this point.
No way. Yeah, it's like a permanent change right now for roasts. Roasts are going to be streamed. They're going to be available on these platforms. Netflix. You know, anybody else that wants to pay us for a sponsorship, we could definitely name drop you. But yeah, that's going to be the future for the roast. Now what's on the schedule here is the Timberwolves, a roast of the Denver Nuggets of 45 points. But Game 7, I'm willing to let this breathe for a little bit, but I want to talk about your Rangers. Let's talk about your Rangers before we get caught up in the Timberwolves fever here. The Rangers, huge comeback. Game 6, they're up 3-2 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Jim, you tell the story. What happened?
Okay. So I was watching the game, and I'm just like, they just came out of the gate horrible. It's like you when you watch a game, you know it's just going to be terrible, and you know it's just going to be one of those just like, oh, we're going to go to Game 7, we're going to lose, we're going to worry about everything. And watching the game, I was like, I gotta go to work in a couple hours. I went to bed. My buddy was like, bro, you watching the game? You watching the game? You watching the game? So I was like, screw it. I got up, put the game on. It was 3-1. I go, we're gonna go back to Game 7. We're gonna go back to Madison Square Garden. And Christopher James Kreider, 1 goal. Okay, we're back. 2 goal. Okay, we're tied. 3 goal. What? So I'm literally sitting here. I'm like, did we just make a comeback? No. like I said, at this point, I'm tired. The game's on, and just these goals, their motto is "There's no quit in New York." So coming back, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I called my mother right after because we're both huge Rangers fans, and she goes to me, she goes, "So when are they playing again? And when are this next series? Because I'll fly you to Connecticut. We'll go see a game." I'm like, okay, let's. So I'm looking schedules. I'm like looking plans, and then near the end of the game, there's like 2 minutes left. I'm like, I'm gonna call you back because it was getting like tight. Carolina pulled their goalie, shot, and then we get the internet are just like, holy crap, we're going to actually win this game. Now, the last time the Rangers were in the Stanley Cup Finals was back in 2014 against LA. Was going to go to a game, got tickets to game 6, couldn't go, they got swept. This year, it feels different. It's like 1994 all over again. President Cup's winning. Knicks are in the playoffs. They have a great schedule, and it is. I'm not even close to New York, where it's just like I could go anytime I want. Because last time they won it, I wasn't even born.
30 years ago.
30.
Right.
But it's a feeling where you're down in the dumps, and you're like, crap. We have to go back to Game 7 after blowing a 3-0 lead, mind you, 3-0 lead, to come back and to end it in Raleigh was amazing.
That was, I guess, the best way to put it. It was a perfect storm, and you guys put out the Hurricanes with that flurry of goals. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's why we live and die for sports, because of the competition, drama, the intrigue, the storyline, just the back and forth throughout the 7-game series. I'm happy there's a Game 7. I know you're happy there's no Game 7 for your beloved New York Rangers. So yeah, have fun out there. Have fun out there at MSG, Madison Square Garden. The Knicks are playing really well. The Knicks are trying to advance. They play later this week. We'll see if they are able to get past the Indiana Pacers. My guess is that they will best them, whether it's in 6 or 7. I feel like New York has just proven that they're a grittier team, especially in those crunch time big moments in the playoff. We've seen that with Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo. You got Josh Hart, and everybody's following Tibbs' lead, and Tibbs is the perfect coach for the New York Knicks. I know we can kind of parlay this, talk about the Knicks here a little bit too, but that's kind of cool. Like, it's been 30 years since you had Patrick Ewing, you had John Starks, Anthony Mason, Greg Anthony, and all those great New York Knicks. And then now you look forward to what the Rangers, they had Mark Messier, and the whole crew that he was leading against, I believe it was the Vancouver Canucks.
Yes.
I think the Canucks are still in the Stanley Cup playoffs, correct?
They are. They're playing the Edmonton Oilers with McDavid, but right. They are not. Edmonton's not looking good right now. It's all Vancouver, but I think they're not gonna advance to the finals again. It's gonna be the winner of the other series in the West, the Dallas Stars versus Colorado Avalanche. That series is awesome. That's now 3-2. Stars had a chance to put them away yesterday, but they couldn't. I think they blew a 2-goal lead.
So the Stars they're a game away from being in the same position that they were last year, the Western Conference Finals, where they eventually lost to the Las Vegas Knights. They took out the Las Vegas Knights in round number 1. So we sit here as, could be Dallas, could be Colorado. You got Edmonton. They're kind of teetering. They might be, fading away. Let's see if Connor McDavid could have another heroic run here to get them to at least the Western Conference Finals. But yeah, Vancouver, it could be deja vu. Vancouver. I mean, there's no Houston Rockets
No.
for the Knicks here, so that's fine. That's fine with me. Could be the Timberwolves. It's fine.
I would like to see the Timberwolves go on, but
yeah, absolutely.
But I will say this: that series between Dallas and Vegas, it went 7 games. It went to overtimes. It was hard fought. It was a war. But as all good fans know, we're not worried about that right now. We're not worried about the future. We're worried about what now. We're about the next series. It's the one thing I hate about people is like, oh, if you make to the finals, you'd play them, or you could play them. I'm like, no. Let's worry about who we play next. Let's worry about the next series. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We all know that is dangerous.
Right. You don't want to you don't want to count their egg. You don't want to count your eggs before they hatch, and you don't want to disrespect your opponent, because that's a quick way to become bulletin board material. And yeah, we'll talk about that. Like, this has been one of the greatest series that I've been able to witness with the Wolves and Nuggets. And then I know you're looking forward to another great series with the Rangers and whoever they do play. Either it's going to be Florida or Boston. And I know those teams are going at it. They're being, as competitive as they should be. It's just 2 top, stellar hockey programs in the NHL. And I'm just looking at this is my favorite time of year.
Oh,
just
same.
for my birthday. I turned 34, and I got to see the Timberwolves live playing the Nuggets. They didn't get the win, but it was totally worth it to see what they did in Game 6 to force a Game 7 where they beat the Nuggets by 45 points. The team was hitting on all cylinders after losing 3 straight. So now you see the momentum swing back towards Minnesota going into a Game 7 Sunday. As we mentioned, it could be a early tip-off, could be afternoon if the Knicks take care of business, or it could be a 7 o'clock start, 7:30 tip-off if there is a Game 7 for New York. So it could go either way. And again, we don't even know who their opponent would be if the Wolves do advance past Game 7. It could be Dallas. It could be OKC. But it is trending towards Dallas because Dallas is in control and they are showing their veteran presence in these playoffs. And OKC is so young, so talented, but you can see some cracks that were not visible during the regular season because you're not playing quality. You're not playing a quality opponent every night for OKC, so they can run and gun. So we'll see if OKC can push back and force a Game 7 themselves. But we'll see if Dallas can take care of them. And then now as we shift towards the Western Conference Finals, well, we could definitely see the Timberwolves hosting Dallas. If Dallas prevails, they're up 3-2. But if OKC does find a way to come back, then it would open up in OKC. So I'm sure a lot of Timberwolves fans, they want to see Target Center as the hosting the Western Conference Finals. So it's just been a great run with the Northwest Division. It's the top 3 teams right now, Northwest Division. You got Oklahoma City Thunder, Denver Nuggets, and your Minnesota Timberwolves here on the 94 podcast. So we'll put that subject to bed. And I'll also give you an opportunity here, final thoughts in regards to the NBA and NHL playoffs.
You just want home field, home court, home ice, home whatever advantage, because having your fans behind you is always better, especially if you have to go 7 games. If you have to go 7, I believe the Wolves are away for Game 7. That's gonna be
All Arena, Denver.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a tough decision, tough game for them because they're basically playing a man down with the fans behind them. So you always want home ice court advantage. So hopefully you can always pull ahead. And there's an old saying that I keep hearing: you're not in trouble until you lose one on the road at home. So this could be the one for the Wolves. Hopefully they can move on, and hopefully they can play against OKC and get the home court advantage?
It would be Dallas.
Oh, Dallas. My
OKC
bad.
would have home court.
My bad.
But you're right. Like I like the matchup either way. But Dallas would give us home court. Okay, that is I can't stop like getting excited for Game 7. Definitely.
It's Game 7.
Locked in.
It's
Game 7. The best two words in sports.
Yes. Hell yeah.
All right, let's go. I love it. I love this energy. NFL schedule. Let's talk about NFL schedule. The Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears. Here in the 94 podcast, the two teams that we talk about the most, they release their schedules. Common theme for the Vikings that I expected, not that many primetime games, but we do have a Monday night clash against the Chicago Bears. So that will definitely be a game that I will be looking forward to attending. We'll see if Caleb Williams will be starting for that game. You never know with rookies. Same thing with JJ. We don't know if JJ McCarthy will be starting in that game. But yeah, there's a couple. The Vikings. We open at New York against the New York Giants. Any takeaways with Week 1? We're going up against Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, and the New York Giants. No longer do we have to deal with Saquon Barkley in the backfield.
Yeah, we don't have to put up with that with Saquon Barkley anymore. I mean, the Giants are still a decent team. I think that I really want to say these are should-win games because look at last year. We had Buccaneers should have won against them Week 1. Week 2 should have won that game. Carolina,
against Chargers, yep.
Chargers, yeah, we should have won. Like weeks 1 through 3, we should have won, or at least, yeah, we should have won because we were in all those games. In
Carolina was our first win.
Yep, it was the first win. Down. We should have beat them handedly. We barely squeaked out a game against them.
Yeah, right. No, that was definitely like it was a barometer of how the season was going to go. We were just going to be treading water, and then right when we kind of, we were both at that game in Green Bay. That was like when I felt like everything was beginning to click. We were just waiting for Justin Jefferson to come back from his, I believe he had like a hamstring.
Yeah, something like that.
He tweaked against the Chargers, and then he had another injury against the Kansas City Chiefs, who obviously, as we know, they went on to win their back-to-back Super Bowl. And we realized when we played the Green Bay Packers, we were both at that game. We realized, all right, if we can keep everybody healthy, and then before we could even finish that sentence, Kirk ruptures his Achilles tendon, and just like that, the season is in flux.
Yeah,
that's how quick it is, though, in the NFL.
Yeah, anything can happen. It's just like, okay, you can see things turning around. You can see things are like, okay, we're finally hitting our mark. And then that happens. Just like, no. It was tough.
No, it was tough.
Oh, yeah, it was tough watch, tough everything. And, yeah, Dobbs came in. He did well. What's his name came in? He played well for the first.
Are you talking about Nick Mullins?
Mullins came in. He played well. But
Hall, he started a game against the Packers, but then he didn't finish that game. But
yeah,
regardless, I mean, he looked okay in that first series against Atlanta when he did start that game. I mean, he did go 1-0 in his first career start. I mean, that's impressive. That's first road win. Even though he got knocked out, he got concussed, and Josh Dobbs will always be known as the hero of that game. But
yeah.
Still, he started, he got the win, and just a lot of growth that I see from year 2 in Brian Flores' defense, year 3 in Kevin O'Connell's offense. I love the cohesiveness that's going to be present. So let's get back to the schedule. Week 1, New York Giants, noon game. I expect to win. I expect to win that game at New York.
Same. Like we
Sam Darnold, I expect to win that game.
yeah, they're still trying to build back from what they had lately. They still need to take that next step. Yeah, they have Daniel Jones, but they still need to take that next step. So
But they haven't.
that's a
They got
should
Malik
win.
Neighbors, who they just drafted, so that'll be a matchup to watch between I think our third or second round pick, Kyrie Jackson. He's like what 6'3", 6'4". That'll be a good matchup. That'll be a matchup to watch for the rookies. Week 2, fast forward in week 2, we get the San Francisco 49ers. And that's going to be our home opener. Another noon game, but this will be September 15th. We start the season on September 8th. It's, it's going to be here before we know it, Jim. But September 15th, we get the 49ers, defending NFC champions. How do you feel about the 49ers coming into town week 2?
They're beatable. We beat them last year. They're beatable. I think if we can shut down the receivers and force them to run, shut down Kittle, shut down Purdy, we have a good opportunity to surprise a lot of people and take that game. And you never know, we could face it off again later in the playoffs if everything goes right for everyone. We can beat them. I'm not saying it's a can we win. It's not we must win game. We could win this game.
Exactly. They're beatable. Like, we've done it, and Kevin O'Connell, like, he knows that San Francisco is they're going to be up for this game because they want to get back after they got beat on Monday night last year. And that was a big game for us because that got us trending in the right direction. So yeah, definitely you got Christian McCaffrey to worry about. You got Fred Warner on defense. So yeah, and you got Joey Bosa. So yeah, you got your hands full with the talent that San Francisco 49ers. So John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, they always do a great job of getting their teams ready for the season. So this will be and Josh Dobbs, he's going to be making his homecoming game. That'll be because he's signed with the 49ers. And now we got Sam Darnold on the Minnesota Vikings. So great storyline for week 2. So we go to week 3. We got CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans coming into US Bank Stadium for their first visit ever for CJ Stroud. This one is going to be a tough game. I could see the Vikings dropping this game just for the fact that CJ Stroud is just going to be in year 2, and he's on that same level of like a Joe Burrow in regards to like what he can do in this league.
Oh, definitely. This game, I'm actually more excited for this game than the San Francisco game because I want to go out there and see this game. I want to see CJ Stroud. Watching him on TV, he looks amazing. We could drop this game, but I want to see how CJ plays first because who knows? Maybe he might hit his sophomore slump. Last year, we didn't have much film of him in the NFL. We didn't know his tendencies. Yes, now they have Stephon Diggs, who's now on them.
Great.
Yeah. There's more film out there on him for NFL Tennessee, so let's wait and see. I could see us dropping this game. I'm hoping to go see this game at US Bank Stadium, but this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Hopefully, it's a close game and it's going to be entertaining.
Absolutely, this will be an entertaining game. Like, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Vikings do pull it out.
Oh, same.
But how many teams go 60-0? Maybe the New England Patriots, but they ended up with one giant loss at the end. So like at the same time, you can't win them all. Hey, Brady Roast continues on the 94 podcast. Okay.
Fine.
This is the overtime roast. So we got the Houston Texans. That's gonna be a fun game. And then think about it. You got D'Amico Ryans. And then Brian Flores. So like 2 brilliant defensive minds going against each other. And I know they're not going to be matched up against each other, but it's going to feel like whose defense is going to outperform the other. So now that brings us to week 4. We play the hated Green Bay Packers, week 4 at Lambeau. So this is in your backyard, Jim. So I'll let you lead off here.
Okay, so Yes, they come to Lambeau. It's going to be a tough one. Jordan Love isn't good. I've been telling my people that, like, even last year, like, Jordan Love's good. Jordan Love is someone who can do stuff. And it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun matchup. Being in Green Bay, it's what they talk about nonstop here. Gonna go to work and rep my Vikings sweater, Vikings shirt, and I'm gonna be hated, but you know what? I do not care. It's gonna be purple and gold all day, every day.
Yes, sir. Skull.
I'm definitely gonna go to that one. I might even take that day off of work because I want to be well rested. I want to be able to go to the game. It's gonna be fun. And if not, I've tried to sneak in a Vikings reference at work for people unexpected to see if they could pick it out.
For sure. Hey, I'm not putting it out of the question. It's 50-50, but I would love to go to this game. Who will be our quarterback at week 4? We don't know. But this will be Aaron Jones' homecoming, back to Green Bay, back to Lambeau, team that drafted him. I know he'll be up for this game. I know he's got this game circled on the schedule right when it came out. So this will be a 50-50 game. Packers, Vikings, it's a rivalry game. So anything can happen. But, this is Jordan Love. He's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Can we just chill out on that, please? He just had one full season as a starter. You beat the Cowboys. I can name at least 5 NFC quarterbacks that can beat Dak Prescott in a playoff game.
He's he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be a good quarterback down the road. He's no Mahomes, no Burrow.
He's a franchise quarterback. I'll give him that.
Yes. So the hype needs to get turned down a little bit.
The hype needs to chill down on that. Right. Exactly. Okay, week 5. That brings us to the former Green Bay Packer quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers, this game will be played in London, overseas, across the pond. Any type of tea time. Any type of English accent that you could think of, it will be a great time for Vikings fans. I hope it's a terrible time for the Jets fans. I don't know. Do you know some Jets fans? I know you're out east.
So there's actually a Jets fan at my work, and I guarantee you, I will drop little notes, be like, "Yo, hopefully Rodgers doesn't have any special tea out in England waiting for him."
Right. Ayahuasca, he's got some ayahuasca tea out there. That'll be his English breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, some beans and toast too.
Beans and toast, right? Top of the morning, Governor. All right, and this game will be played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So it'll be an 8:30 a.m. Central kickoff. So make sure to get your alarm clocks ready so you don't miss the beginning of this game, because it's not going to be your normal nooner. It will be an 8:30 kickoff. So that will be the kickoff to week 5 Sunday's action.
Oh, yeah.
So that blends into week 6. That's the bye. So we'll keep moving here. We'll just keep moving and grooving here. And Detroit, week 7. So you get a full week to recover. And then you get a divisional rival at home, week 7, Detroit Lions. This is going to be a good barometer of how the Viking season will definitely go. Dan Campbell is going to get the Lions ready. And I know Kevin O'Connell wants to get back at the Detroit Lions because they swept us last year.
Oh, yeah.
And they took us out. They took us out of the playoffs last year. So this one's going to be personal.
Oh, definitely. Especially, I think, Goff getting his new contract, 4-year, 220, 170 guaranteed, I think it was. They are no joke. They're reloading. They're making a push. This is a bar setting game. Are we playoff? If we have a good record, this is the set the bar standard. This is we beat them, we could beat anyone. As a division, especially since it's a divisional rival game. This game I really want to go to. I really want to go see too. There's a lot. There's
as two. This game counts as two, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be like a well played, hard fought game. I think it's going to come down to the final possession, just like most of these Vikings Lions games do.
Oh, definitely. And I think by this time, I think JJ is going to be ready. He's going to be starting by this time. If not now, last week against the Jets, he'll be starting.
In a quieter stadium, like London's going to be quieter. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, get more acclimated into the scene before it gets all crazy.
Exactly. And after that, then you have a very quick turnaround after you play the Lions in a divisional game in Week 7. Week 8, you get the Los Angeles Rams and a former foe in Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay. This would be a nice homecoming for Kevin O'Connell playing against the Los Angeles Rams, where he did win a Super Bowl when they took out the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe, was that Super Bowl 55, I believe? Yeah, Super Bowl 55. Yep.
It should be a good one. I think
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I gotta take this call.
Okay.
Hello? Good. How are you doing, Chuck?
We are back live. Back to the Rams. I mean, that's going to be a good series.
I can bring us back. I just gotta wait for this to load up. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. We're still going on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we're still good on YouTube.
We're still good.
I can't wait to like rewatch it on YouTube. It's gonna be interesting.
We gotta promote it, man. Because
we do have to promote it.
Because it's a good thing to have as like a backup. Say like your phone doesn't work, and like I've been testing my audio on this. Like I've been listening to it when if I go like this, I can hear it.
Right. I got. Oh, so you can hear it better? Okay.
Yes.
I got 29% on my laptop, so we're almost through the whole like schedule. And then do we want to save the quarterbacks for another time?
Yeah,
it's up to you.
We can save it for another time.
Yeah, let's save it for another time. We can tease it at the end and be like,
yeah,
stay tuned. We will continue the quarterback series.
Yeah.
Next time.
Have you?
Yep.
Do you want to talk about the release videos at all?
Yeah. We talk about the release videos. I can bring us back right now though, just so. But like, we could talk about the release videos. So if you have ammo on that, we can go on that.
Oh, I haven't pulled up ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. Okay.
I'm ready to go.
I'll bring us back. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So yeah, we got the Rams. That's a quick turnaround. That's going to be Thursday Night Football. Kevin O'Connell coming back to SoFi Stadium. What are your thoughts in regards to like this schedule being released? Like, is going to basically just turn into a mini bye for the Minnesota Vikings. But what's your feelings on the Vikings visiting the Los Angeles Rams? with no Aaron Donald, by the way. He's retired.
It's going to be good. I think we have a good shot against them. They're an aging team with a few young players, so I think we have a chance against them. I think our young guns can take advantage of that. No Donald, so that line's a little less scary, but we just gotta be there. We just gotta. I think that's a winnable game right there. I think if our defense can stand up, we could definitely win this game.
Right. You just got to limit what Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua are going to do. They're going to get theirs, but you just got to limit the damage that they're able to do. This would be a huge game too for Cam Akers. So this is another game to circle for another running back that could potentially just go off against the Los Angeles Rams because they straight up and down. They just gave up on Cam Akers, and Cam Akers still has fuel in the tank. So I'm excited to see the kind of game that Cam Akers produces for the Minnesota Vikings. Week 9. And again, I'm kind of teasing the quarterback series because we're going to get back to that. But I know I left off on the list for 16. I had Anthony Richardson. This is going to be our first look at Anthony Richardson, and it will be at US Bank Stadium. So we're getting a lot of talent coming to US Bank Stadium this year. So I'm excited to see what Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor. The Colts are just going to be an exciting team. They have a good defense. So it's going to be a good challenge to see what Kevin O'Connell, JJ, Justin Jefferson, real JJ, or Jets, he likes to go by, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison. I think this is going to be a shootout game. So if you want to see a lot of points, tune in to Week 9, Indianapolis Colts, Minnesota Vikings. I think the offenses are going to put on a clinic. That's just my early prediction on that. Your take on the Indianapolis Colts coming to US Bank?
Yeah, it's going to be a good series. I'm actually excited to watch this one too. It's another one I want to go see. Like, there's a lot of want to go see games this year. I would love to see Richardson play, but hopefully he can stay healthy to this point. I know head injuries, you need to take it slow, you need to get back into it, and you're more susceptible once you get the first one. Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully this game's a shootout, and this is a game where we should win. This is a game I'm picking to win. Yes.
Yep, I'm picking the Vikings to win this game. Yep. Week 10. This is where we start our 3-game road trip where we're at Jacksonville. So I'll fast forward here. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, his development has been kind of shaky. I see this as a win as long as the Vikings don't turn the ball over. Jacksonville's a beatable team. They're a beatable team. And then week 11, we have the Tennessee Titans, another winnable game. No more headache of trying to stop a Derrick Henry for the Tennessee Titans. It is now the Ryan Tannehill show or Will Levis. So that's a nightmare for the Tennessee Titans faithful. So you're going to be at Everbank Stadium, Jacksonville, and then you do another trip to Nissan Stadium. So you got back-to-back AFC South teams, and then you go to Chicago to finish the road trip at Soldier Field. And your first look is at week 12, November 24th. You get to see Caleb Williams for the first time for the Minnesota Vikings. So what's your take on these 3 games as we kind of fast forward through the schedule? Jaguars, Titans, Bears.
Jaguars, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, they made the playoffs last year, but Lawrence, if he stays healthy, he could put up a game. But I think that's a game where it's like we should win. I'm putting that as a should win game. Tennessee, I think Levis is going to be starting this game. He's going to have no quit in him.
Hopkins.
Okay, Hopkins.
Right. Yep.
That's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a tough game.
Fun game. Yeah, that'll be a tough game because it's just so many unknowns right now. Because there's so many new faces, rookies. You don't have your regular. You don't have the regular teams that you would expect because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be determined before we get to week 11. But yeah, this is another should win game for the Minnesota Vikings.
Excuse me. And then the Bears. The Bears.
Bears.
I mean,
where's Leonard? Where's Leonard? Where's Leonard? I would love to get Leonard's take on this.
yeah, yeah. It's going to be fun. I think this is going to be the battle of the rookies quarterbacks here. And if they can stay healthy. This is all if everyone stays healthy, no one gets seriously hurt. So we have to I'm going to put that out there now if everyone's healthy. It should be a fun game to watch. I think we still have the edge for now. I think they're in the next couple of years they're going to be good if they don't screw up Williamson. If they don't screw that up, they have a chance to. It has a chance to be a good shootout game. Has a chance to be a low scoring game, but it's a game we should win because it's a twofer. It's a division game. We have to take advantage of our division games. I think that's how we make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to take care of the division game. Yeah, I see this as a big moment here for Kevin O'Connell. Big moment for Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. You're going directly against the Chicago Bears in the division. You got Ryan Poles, you got Caleb Williams, Matt Eberflus. You got that mastermind group. You got the Vikings mastermind group. Right now, we just have to let the Bears know it's not your time yet, and take care of business. Go on to week 13, and then come back home and you play the Arizona Cardinals. First look at Marvin Harrison Jr. But I got the Vikings winning that game. It's going to be another tough game, but I like that it's not like in the middle of winter. It's an earlier road game, away game. It's not a cold weather game, so I got the Vikings taking the edge there, taking the Bears down. Yeah, I know. Most times they say bear down, but we're taking Bears down. Let's go. So Arizona Cardinals, what's your take on Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray? Nothing too much else.
Nothing too much. As long as Murray stays off Call of Duty, I mean, they've been terrible the past couple of years lately anyway, so.
Right. December 1st is the game, so December 1st is the game where we play them week 13, so by that time there might be a Call of Duty that might be released.
That's true.
Yes, for the holiday season. All right, so now we fast forward a week ahead, week 14. It's the Atlanta Falcons and your uncle Kirk Cousins. He's going to be coming in town. So that place will be rocking. US Bank Stadium will be rocking. I would not be surprised if this game gets flexed. It's a noon game right now, but I could see this game getting flexed to a Sunday night. No question.
What is the Sunday night game for that day? You
don't know. I think that it might still be open. It could be like it could be like a Super Bowl rematch. Who knows? It could be Eagles Chiefs. It could be a number of like matchups. But right now I don't see a better matchup than Week 14 Falcons Vikings. Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix Jr.
But is he going to start now? Another question is he going to start?
That's another question.
Because we are now 14 weeks deep.
I think JJ will be starting this.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
It's just the fact that I think, like I said before, I feel bad for Cousins. He left Minnesota because we told him straight out that we are drafting a quarterback. But I think if he stayed, he could have mentored him. I think that was a mistake on him. But good for him. He got his pay in Falcons.
He got his money. Right.
And I think he got screwed there. So we'll see if he's playing or if Penix Jr. is playing. It all depends on how they're going. But that game's going to be fun. That's another game like I want to go see because it's going to be pumping. I think he's going to get a standing ovation for what he's done for the organization, and he rightly deserves that standing ovation.
Absolutely. I'm not denying what Kirk has been able to do, in regards to the development of all the young talent, and just the time that he's spent. Or I think about like 6 years in Minnesota, but still respect Kirk Cousins. But once kickoff happens, we want to rip his head off. We want as many sacks as possible, interceptions. He's the op.
Yeah.
once the game starts. But it's all respect outside the lines. Chicago Bears. That's the Monday night. That's the Monday night game that I was talking about. This will be another classic game here for the Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings. It's another rivalry game. This is their only night game that's on Monday night, or excuse me, that's our only Monday night game. We mentioned that they will be playing the Rams, so like 2 primetime games, but I think it should be 3 with Atlanta. That should definitely it should convert itself into a Sunday night, or if it's a Thursday night, I'm cool with that too. Like I know that's like unconventional, but like I don't know if they're starting to do that with Thursday games getting flexed out. But I think for the most part, Thursday night games are like fixed because of like the bye situation. So
Yeah.
I could see this being another game where you gotta hit him early because Caleb Williams, he's going to be a little bit more seasoned at this point, week 15. So and Roma Dunze, they're going to want to have this turn into a track meet, and they're going to have that environment being indoors. They're going to have to deal with the wind like they normally do when they're at home at Soldier Field. So I see this being a shootout. I see this being a shootout for the fact that I feel like these offenses will at least have enough time together. They're going to be able to gel. So you're going to see better football the second game. But I could see the Vikings pulling this one out still. So that would be December 16th, week 15. We move forward to week 16. This is a game that I have circled because I do have some friends out in Seattle that I want to go see this game person. So week 16 at Seattle, Geno Smith, DJ Metcalf, just awesome vibes out in Seattle.
This one's gonna be a fun one too to watch. Which Geno Smith are we gonna get? Are we gonna get 2022 Geno, or are we gonna get 2023 Geno? Because he did struggle last year.
He did.
So that's really like
Came back to earth.
Yeah, he came down to earth. So it all depends on like who we see, how the offense is doing, and if it's going to be raining or not. It is in Seattle.
There could be rain. It's going to be in Seattle. It's going to be 3 days before Christmas, so it's going to be December. The weather is going to be a little misty. I don't expect it to be like raining. Who knows? It's Seattle, but I hope that the Seattle Seahawks are sleepless after this game.
That'd be nice. Speaking about Christmas, what do you think about those 2 games being on Netflix this year?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I think for sure they're gonna have to have, they're gonna have to have the Eagles and Cowboys on one of them for sure. That's gonna be one of them. I could say that already. And then the other game I could definitely see 49ers and Chiefs. That needs to be on Netflix. Those are the 2 matchups that I could see being on the Netflix.
Yeah, because I know it's Christmas Day they're having them on Netflix.
Oh, Christmas Day. Yep.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the Chiefs on because they're always
gonna
be like the biggest draw.
Yeah. We'll circle back to this because I do have a stat for the. Yeah, we'll circle back.
Good question though. I like that question. Yeah. All right. So this brings us to week 17. Second time we could see the hated Green Bay Packers. It'll be a noon game. It'll be again like a replay of last year. We play the Packers second to the last game of the season. An opportunity to redeem ourselves. This will be at US Bank Stadium. Last game before the new year. So it'll be 12/29. It'll be a noon game. What are your thoughts, Jim? I'll let you lead off here again.
We just need to be healthy. I think last year, the last game against them, we just weren't healthy enough. This is going to be another litmus test here. Like we're almost done with the season, and this is another. Hey, can we be strong down the stretch, and can we be a deep team that can make runs for the playoffs?
Absolutely. Yep. So we're almost done here on the 94 podcast. We'll definitely come back to the schedule. And we'll give you our predictions on the next installment of the 94 podcast, and we will continue the quarterback series here. So we've got maybe I'd say 2-4 minutes left here on this 94 podcast. installment. So I'll go week 18. We'll close out here. Detroit Lions. I got the Vikings in a tough game here. It can go either way. Lions, or it could be either going for the division title. Vikings, if everything goes right, it could be clinching that division title in this game. So there's a lot of questions here. And obviously, by week 18, we're going to know all the answers. But I see this as a gotta have it game. If the Vikings are serious about going into the playoffs with the right swagger, the right temperament, and beating a quality team in the Detroit Lions, that would be the way to do it. And then this will be JJ McCarthy's first time back in Michigan since being drafted from Michigan. So I'm sure he's going to have a lot of fanfare that will show up for this game. And again, big matchup for the defense. Dallas Turner. This is the first time we mentioned him. This will be the first time for him to close out a season. Who knows what sack total he will be at week 18. So definitely be a fun game to watch. Couple of those divisional rivalry games that I definitely want to check out. Definitely want to check out a Detroit game. Definitely want to check out a Chicago game, and for sure, definitely want to check out a Green Bay Packers game. So what are your thoughts here as we close here on the 94 podcast?
It's going to be another tough season. I think we have a good mix of teams that we should be, and the teams that are going to be putting us through our paces. But that's a good way to get through everything, and that's a great way to test us and see if we're ready for the playoffs this year. If not this year, next, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you said you had some schedule releases. We can talk about that, and then we can close.
So, every year the NFL teams will put out a YouTube video about releasing their schedule. So I'm going to give you 4 to check out. The Chargers past 3 years have been awesome. So they are worth watching. Go out and watch them. Atlanta was another great one to watch. There's nostalgia there. The Packers, I only put them on there just because they have Big Cat from Part of My Take on there, and it's hilarious. That's like the only part about that. And then I think the last one, everyone should give it a watch. The Colts did an amazing one where they went to a local school and all that. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to go out there, do it because it's awesome. They're fun to watch. And hey, when you're listening to the 94 podcast on Spotify, give us a show. We have launched a new YouTube channel. It's at 94 podcast. And it's something that at 94 podcast, we are here anytime. So feel free to give us a follow, watch, and hey, you can watch us live, talk about stupid stuff, talk about live and having fun stuff. And it's going to be fun. And it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, we're waiting for my buddy Brooks, the host Brook could come back, but if you guys ever want a good thing to do in your spare time, these are about like 4 or 5. Why am I not live? Huh? Give about 4 or 5. Huh? Wait, why am I? There. Give her 4 or 5 different times, because you never know. And yeah, give our boy Brook some love. He's been putting a lot of effort in. He's been grinding for so long. But yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. Hope you're loving it. We're having a fun time here. We just went through the Vikings schedule, must win, all that stuff. Oh yeah, Brook to get back. But hopefully everyone's having a fun time. Hopefully everyone is good. We're definitely here to bring up conversation and root for the Vikings. Because yes, I'll be right back.
Just so we can wrap up with that schedule release segment that we talked about.
Sounds good. We're back live on YouTube.
Cool. All right, Jim. So yeah, you were talking to me about some like funny NFL schedule releases. I want to get like the full scoop. What did you uncover? I know that we had some technical difficulties, so I do apologize to the listeners. But I wanted to make sure for the listeners that we got this segment in. What was your favorite, or I guess a couple favorite scheduled releases that you were able to get a hold of?
Okay, so as everyone knows that each year some teams put out videos to release a schedule, and they've been funny. Like the Chargers, like as you're seeing on the screen now, which I don't know if we'll have time to watch it. If you want to watch like a plus play, it's only like 3 minutes,
Sure,
but
that's fine.
but this is hold on, turn that all the way down. So teams release schedules and everything, and they make fun of everyone. So I think this was my favorite. Last year they did an anime which had a lot of references, and they did the Sims this year. So they like the Raiders they clown on
Okay. Okay.
week 2
That's great. That's great. Okay, so are you playing it right now?
No, so the Chargers released this one. So they released this. This is what the Chargers released on their official Facebook page. So this is always fun. This is the Chiefs. I think this is hilarious because Taylor Swift in the background.
Okay. That's great.
Uh, so this is one of my favorites. And we don't have to watch the whole thing. The Sean Payton.
Okay. Okay? Okay, gotcha. So like it's going through like all the teams.
Yes.
So it's got like Broncos, Sean Payton. It's got
Yeah.
the Chiefs. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Taylor Swift, Travis
Yeah.
Kelce, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And then you got the Raiders. The Raiders are a joke. Like they basically are a running joke in the NFL in regards to they can't find a quarterback, and maybe Kirk Cousins ends up as a Las Vegas Raider. I mean, before the end of the season, you might see that.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely gonna get traded. And these are fun things. That's my favorite. The Colts are very cool because they actually go to middle school and they have kids drawing their schedule. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they have like sense of communities. They have sense of all that, and it's fun. It's a fun thing if you have like 10 minutes. You could go through almost every like half the schedule. Some of them don't even have one, which sucks. But these are always fun to watch. They're fun to be a part of, and they make you feel like a community together.
I totally get that. Like, yeah, like the social media teams for these NFL teams that don't do the schedule release video or any kind of like introduction to the new season, that's a major L. Because you're not engaging with your team, you're not engaging with your fans, and when you think about it, you do it for the fans.
Yeah,
These NFL teams because they're selling hope. That's what they do. They do a great job of selling hope, and what better way than selling hope at the beginning of the season than try to sell hope in the middle of the season. So yeah, and the Vikings, they've done videos that I've seen from last year and years past where they do the flying drone. That's pretty cool. Where the
yeah,
drone is kind of flying around the practice facility.
yeah.
But I haven't seen this year's, so I'll definitely watch that one, and then we could definitely comment on that. Coming up in future 94 podcast installments. But yeah, like it's great. The Chicago Bears, they got a good one where they kind of are going through all like the legends. And I'm sure they have Mike Ditka do their schedule releases before. We've had John Randall do the Vikings in past years. I know that, like you said, the anime, I love that with the Chargers. That's
Yeah.
creativity, like 100%. I love that. And yeah, just keeping it fresh, keeping it real, and just having fun with it. But that's all we do here in the 94 podcast. We just keep it fresh, fun, and it's original content. So I appreciate you, Jim, for definitely bringing that originality to the program.
Hey, no problem. And you know what? If you want to see us talk live and see what we're talking about and see our reactions, we have a YouTube channel now at Nine
Okay.
Four Podcast. And
At 94 podcast. Yep.
yeah, at 94 Podcast. This what you're hearing right now is our first stream. We will be going live when we are. So make sure you follow, subscribe, like, get notifications. And hey, maybe one day if we have enough people who are here and they start chatting, maybe we can answer some of your questions that you have.
Exactly. We'd love to interact with all the listeners, all the fans. Yeah. Who do we do it for? We do it for the audience. We do it for the fans. Anybody that wants to talk sports or engage in just conversation. That's what we're here for. But yeah, thank you again, Jim, for setting the YouTube stream, and then we got that going. That's another step. That's another stage of the 94 podcast. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. Yeah, yeah, definitely like and subscribe. Tell a friend that you believe would enjoy the 94 podcast, and spread the word. Spread the word like peanut butter.
No problem, man. I appreciate you having me on. Like this is, I really appreciate you keep inviting me back here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we love having you on the show. Um, I'll speak on behalf of Leonard. It just makes for just great content. And just having somebody that brings their own takes, and then we can also just bounce ideas off of each other. So again, until next time, here on the 94 podcast, we'll see you. But any words before I do the salute, the final salute here? Any words?
I'm ready to salute, man. Let's go.
Let's go. We'll see you at the
Oh.
TOP. And we out. Dude, that was good. I like that. That was a good sound out.